So thank you everybody for hanging in there with us. My name is Melissa Jacobs. This is Mainline Tonight. My first guest is Mary Biter, and I am so honored that she is with me. You have an amazing story to tell, and you have not done any media interviews yet. So this is the first time that we get to hear your story. So let me walk people through it a little bit. First of all, you're joining us from Skipack, which is a small town in Pennsylvania. And right now, your business is window treatments. You create shades and fabrics and and all of this kinds of curtains, everything else. That's what you were doing up until March. Before that, for 30 years, you were a nurse. You were a maternity nurse at Chestnut Hill Hospital. And so in March of this year, when the COVID-19 pandemic reached our area, there was a shortage of PPE and masks, especially for nurses. And you decided to do something about it. On March 21st, you started a Facebook group.
Correct.
And you had a goal of making 1,000 masks, the homemade masks, to donate to nurses and other healthcare workers. By March 26th, you had met that goal of 1,000 masks, and you decided to keep going. So as of today, how many masks has your group made?
19,096. Isn't that
yes. Great? 19,096 masks made by you and your team of sewers. You have not done any publicity about it. You have not asked for media attention, and you have not been on Instagram Live before. So if we can start showing Mary some love in the bottom of the comments so she can see all of the hearts and all of the attention. And this is for all of you and your team. So let's get into the numbers a little bit. March 21st, you started the Facebook group. Tell me how you went about making the kits and organizing the team to do this. Walk me through it.
So on March 21st, before we even made one mask, we had 550 orders for masks. So that sort of verified that there was a need out there. And so that night I chose 8 people that I sort of knew, because most of the people in this group I don't know, and I still don't know them, because everything that we have done has been no human contact. They drive in my driveway, pick up things, so I don't know a lot of the people. So I chose 8 people that I knew, and I said, let's try this and see if we can make this work. So I made 8 kits, and in each...
Well, you got the pattern, right? You found a pattern to use for the masks.
Made the pattern just because.
Right. And then you had a lot of the fabric, right? Because you were using it from your window treatment business.
Yeah.
So fabric and elastic, and you assembled kits for people. So tell me what was in each kit.
There were the ingredients to make 50 masks. The face fabric, I'll show you one. The face fabric, the back fabric, the elastic, and there is a little piece of stiffener in the top to sort of make it a little bit more comfortable. Our goal was to make these comfortable for people who had to wear them for long hours. So each kit had enough material for each person to make 50 masks. Yes. You put them out in your driveway area, right? And so you didn't have to have contact with people. They would come and get the kits. They would go home and sew and then bring them back to you. And so you thought it was going to be like a one-time deal, but then people did more and more and more, right? Exactly. And my daughter started a Google order page, and the orders just started coming in, and we would have thousands of orders that needed to be filled, and all of the people that were in my group were just dying to help and make a difference. And so we just kept on producing. And
it's important to say that you donated all of these masks. You did not sell them.
That's correct. That's correct.
So these 19,096 masks were donated to healthcare facilities around the region. And you already told me where they went. I'm going to start reading these numbers. Sure. 107 hospitals in the area, 92 nursing homes, 38 home care facilities, 12 doctors' offices, 22 fire and rescue, and 53 other people who said, we're in the healthcare profession, we need help. Right. So the order form that your daughter created was not to sell the masks, it was to distribute them correctly.
Correct.
Okay. So for everybody who's just joining us, let me reintroduce you. You're a Mary Biter. You and your team of Mary Sewers made 19,096 masks and donated them to nurses and other healthcare professionals in our region. Okay, so people kept ordering, people kept bringing you the masks. Tell me about you kind of had to get how you shipped and everything to where it had to go.
Well, for a good part of the delivery, people picked them up on my front porch. So I would package them up with the name and the place where they were going. We would notify people that they were ready, and then they would just show up anytime, day or night, and pick them up on my front porch. The ones that we shipped either UPS or post office, but we also had a great delivery team. So anytime that we could take the masks to a non-healthcare facility, we would ask for a delivery person to take care of that. And it was really funny because my other daughter would post, we need a delivery. And within like 3 minutes, someone would always volunteer. And I had a lot of people who wanted to do deliveries, but just weren't fast enough because we had so much great help.
So it became a family-run thing for you?
Pretty much.
Because your daughter's...
Pretty much. When there's that much...
Even you told me even your husband got in on the act. He made a video of you making the masks, right?
Yeah. And he also took care of the gratitude board, which is where we put all the thank you notes that we received. So when people came to pick up a kit, they could see all the thank you notes that we received. So it was really fun.
Yes. So those first weeks, the end of March and April, were a really scary time for all of us. And when you and I spoke, you said that this gave everybody purpose. And when everything felt out of control, you were able to sit down and do this. And that it made you all feel like you were taking action to help other people. And I think that's what makes the story great. I think that's what makes our communities great. That there are people, when the need is huge, that there are people who will raise their hand and stand up and say, I will help. And you figured this out and you led your team. You had so many people, so many of them are joining us tonight. I want to say thank you to not just you, but all of the people who sewed these 19,096 masks. I know you don't want the attention. I know you're not seeking publicity, but it is an amazing thing that you pulled together. So I was thinking today that it's kind of like a Betsy Ross moment, right? Because this is like a very Philadelphia area story for me, that you all came together and put your sewing know-how to use to serve a higher purpose. I think it's an amazing story. What do you, so it has sort of tapered off, right? Because
it has.
The need, you filled so much need, and then the supplies, people did start getting the supplies that they needed. So where do you stand now?
Well, I have to say one thing first, that I miss if I didn't acknowledge our cutting team. They were the people who picked up all these fabrics and washed them and cut them and delivered them. They were an integral part. And so I need to say thank you to them. And what was your question?
What is the status now of the project? Because people have a lot of the equipment that they need now.
I think that we are about done. We have one more order to fill for 400 masks. And I think that we're going to take a break for the summer. I checked with a lot of people on our list, and everybody seems to be good. So I think our goal all along has been to bridge the gap and make a difference. And I really think that we have accomplished both.
You certainly have. You're an inspiration to me. You're inspiring everybody, I think, who this team of amazing people, hundreds of people who you've led and gave purpose to and gave back to the community. So I think to call you a modern day Betsy Ross is right on. And I think, yes, and also I think that when the history of this pandemic is written, there should be a chapter about the mask makers, because it's people like you and Nellie Bush and Lindsay Gradle and people all across this country who picked up your fabric and put thread and sewing machines together and said, we are going to step up and fill this need. And for you, you're a nurse and you know how to get stuff done. So I know that this came from your heart. And I thank you so much, and thank your whole team. Thank you so much for letting me tell your story. I hope you have an amazing Memorial Day weekend, and I will stay in touch with you. Thank you so much, Mary. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.